So, Zendikar Rising just dropped, and I fell in love with a brand new card, Ruin Crab, which, for anyone who knows me, they probably know that I love milling people. And if you're going to give me a second Hedron Crab in a deck, there's no chance I'm not going to try and play mill. So I've gone on an expedition of trying to make mill work in every single format, and we're starting here in modern, where mill is already a I'm going to call it a fringe playable deck, but what I mean is completely unplayable deck that is a lot of fun. And so this deck started as a joke where we play full 4 copies of Hedron Crab, full 4 copies of Ruin Crab, and a full 4 copies of Iceberg Cancrix, which is kind of like Hedron Crab, but it mills whenever a snow permanent comes in instead of just a land. And then to round out, we have 4 Phantasmal Images, giving us a grand total of 16 crabs. And we're filling out the deck with things like Coiling Oracle to get extra land drops, Icefang Quaddles just to draw cards, good at blocking, poking planeswalkers, and also they are a snow permanent, so they will trigger off to Cancrix. And then Uro, being a very natural fit in his deck, it is, it's good at getting land drops. It's good at just being Uro. And if our plan A isn't working, our plan B through Uro is actually pretty good. And we can probably cast one of the fastest Uros in town. We can actually reasonably hit it on turn 3 with a Hedron Crab followed by a Coiling Oracle into an extra land drop. And then if all that isn't enough, this is probably a mistake, but we're also running 4 Scape Shifts, which is kind of like our combo finisher. And we can, if we're struggling to get that last little bit of card milled, Scape Shift should handle that for us nicely. If I've done my math correctly, the absolute best possible draw from this deck can mill 66 cards by the end of turn 3 by going land, crab, second turn, crab, fetch land, third crab, and then turn 3 playing fetch land, Coiling Oracle into fetch land, and then Coiling Oracle again into another fetch land. And that would be a grand total of 66 cards, and I believe that's our best possible draw on turn 3. So I'm kind of hoping that we get to do it at least once. As for our lands, we've got kind of what you'd expect. We've loaded up pretty heavily on. We got about 10 fetch lands, 4 Wooded Foothills, 4 Estuarian Forests, and 2 Polluted Deltas. It's possible some of these should have been Prismatic Vistas, but I didn't think that far ahead. And snow-covered basics, 13 of them to be exact, to trigger the Iceberg Cancrix, as well as 2 breeding pools and also 2 ghost quarters. These are, they're used aggressively. They're also a way to kind of jank out an extra land drop if we really, really need to, because we can obviously ghost quarter ourselves. In a sideboard, this is just a first draft, so I've gone kind of naive. I have no idea what we're going to face in terms of graveyard decks, so I've overloaded on the graveyard hate. Full 4 Surgical Extractions, full 4 Tormod Script, and 3 Ashiok Dream Renders. I believe Titan is pretty popular right now, and if that's the case, Ashiok Dream Render is actually very good against them because it means they can't search out their Valakuts. And then also 2 Ether Gusts and 2 Echoing Truths just as kind of soft removal counter magic. And that's basically the deck. So without further ado, let's sign up for a Modern League. This hand's kind of weak if we don't draw green source, and it's already kind of a mulligan because Scape Shift is not really the kind of card I want to have in my opener. So I'm going to mulligan. Alright, I'm going to keep this and be unhappy about it. We have 2 draw steps to find a land before it really punishes us, so that should be okay. And honestly, this deck runs a lot of lands. I think we're running 28. So it's not unreasonable for us to expect to be able to find a second land source or a second land drop. Don't kill opponent. Okay, perfect. What's this? Reflecting Pool? Interesting. There's our land. And I'm going to Phantasmal Image, get a second Ruin Crab. Oh no. Okay, that's fine. I don't care about that. I should have thought of that. If they had a bolt, that would have ruined my day. Because then I would have just lost with Phantasmal Image as well. Oh, I didn't mention this during the deck tech, but Oboro is here because if we ever find ourselves in a situation like this, where we can't, where we're running short on land drops, Oboro can just tap itself for mana, return to my hand, and then play it again to get as many land drops as I need. So let's play Oboro, mill 3. Really, opponent? Okay, well, alright, that's going to be a bit rough. So, of course, my first match of the league is playing against an opponent who has Emrakul in their deck, which is exactly my luck. So, we're going to have to try and rely on Uro to win this game, or else I don't think we have a chance. Because the only other chance is that they have to just draw every Emrakul in their deck and not be able to do anything with it. But post-sideboard, when we have 4 Tormod's Crypts and or 4 Surgical Extractions, I don't know if we want to bring on all 8, but once we have that, we'll be in better shape. So I'm going to play Iceberg Cancrix, and we're going to start milling ourselves. Because there's no point in milling them if they're just going to keep looping these Emrakuls. Remand is fine. So we're going to play a land, and we're going to mill ourselves with Cancrix. We don't have a choice but to mill them with Ruin Crab. And this is where the plan B I was talking about comes in, where because we have a bunch of ways to mill ourselves, we can cast a Turbo Uro and basically never run out of fodder for it. So next step is going to have to be finding a second green source, but if that doesn't cause us an issue, then we should be okay. Yeah, here's the Through the Breach, I assume. Yeah. So I mean, we're not dead. We're gonna lose a lot of stuff, but we're not dead. Just keep my breeding pool around, and then if we find a basic, we can play Quoting Oracle and hopefully find another land. And then Uro can help us gain some life and catch us back up on stuff. Okay, playing it a bit fast and loose with the life total, but not really much of a choice, do we? Land, please. Perfect. And then now we can play Uro. That puts us back up to 4. We hopefully find another land drop. Don't bolt me. You have another Through the Breach, really? You got it. Show me the Emrakul. Alright. I mean, there's not a lot I can do against two the Breaches and 2 Emrakuls, so... okay, so... Ashiok's not doing much. Let's bring in the Tormod's Crypts for sure. Do I want to bring in Ether Gust? I don't think so. I think I just want to bring in Graveyard Hate. I don't know how much of it. I don't think I want Escape Shifts. And Phantasmal Image is also kind of looking suspect. And then maybe I only bring in like 3 of these each. And that's pretty good. Could consider cutting a land, but actually maybe I cut the Ghost Quarter. It doesn't seem very good against them. And just bring in the rest of this. I am a little bit nervous about the amount of removal, or the amount of Graveyard Hate we're bringing into that's diluting our Dexy like this. But I think it's going to be necessary. I will keep this. It's not a great hand, but it has removal. Or sorry, it has Graveyard. It has Graveyard Hate. So I'd rather keep that as much as I can. Like 2 Tormod's Crypts is not necessarily ideal, but it's better than 0. So And I got a breeding pool here because that way it's not a snow permanent. So since I'm about to play Iceberg Cancrix, I would like to. Oh, hello. All right, I'll play the Hedron Crab instead. Never mind. All right, and now we have our Tormod script ready to go, so that if we do mill an Emrakul, they don't get to shuffle back in all the cards that we just milled through. All right, this time I'm gonna play Iceberg Cancrix, Spell Snare maybe, just Dream In. That's fine. So I'm gonna play a Wood of Foothills, and again that way I'm not wasting my snow permanents. So we get to mill 6 with the crab. I'm gonna play a second Tormod's Crab just in case. I might end up regretting that, but who knows? If they had like a Shattering Spree or something. Minami School at Water's Edge. Interesting. Play the Cancrix. Got a counterspell on it. They have a Lightning Bolt. I should have played the Misty Rainforest first. That was a mistake. But that's fine. I'll manage. Let's do this while we're in a position to. Mill them for 2. Yes, I would like them to mill 2 cards. There's an Emrakul, so I'm going to exile one with Tormod's Crypt. And then that way they don't get to shuffle all those cards that we just milled back in their deck. That's not good. Alright, well, wasn't considering that as an option. And here comes an Emrakul, I'm assuming. No? Alright. Alright, well, Cancrix you. Yes. Okay. So, what have we milled so far? We've got a Through the Breach and another Through the Breach, so they've only got 2 left at most. That's good. They're down to 34 cards in library. Archmage's Charm, they're going to draw 2. That's fine. Through the Breach coming. Yep. Alright, so we're going to go down to nothing here. But they still have to kill us somehow. We're at 1 life. We have a Polluted Delta in hand. And we have faced the actual worst possible matchup in existence as a first match. So we need to draw basics and for literally nothing else to go bad for us. Well, that's something bad. Okay. Oh, God. That was the unluckiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Who plays Through the Breach in Modern in 2020? I lost a die roll. Did. Oh yeah, that's what we like to see. So turn 1, Hedron Crab. Turn 2, second Hedron Crab. And they reveal Lurrus. What are they up to over there? Perfect. More fetch lanes all day. What does Lurrus mean? Jund? Or like Sultai, I guess? Kind of looking Sultai-ish. I mean, you can thought scour me all you want. So either they're on the mill plan too, or they're just scared of milling their own cards when I'm clearly trying to do the same thing. Yeah, so kind of Sultai value deck looks like. Goif, okay. I feel like this is probably a good matchup because their clock's going to be slow enough that we can mill them effectively. Especially if they didn't have the Fatal Push on turn 1. So let's mill him for 3. Mill him for 3. And we didn't even make the Goif any bigger. That's what I like to see. Alright, so we have Phantasmal Image, we have Crab. Next turn we can fetch. That gets us in 12 mills. They're playing Archive Trap in their Tarmogoyf deck? That's nuts. Well, they milled an arrow for us. I don't think they can mill us faster than we can mill them. But I mean, I guess anything's possible. But if our crabs survive, we have a turn 4 Scape Shift, which I assume probably kills them. Sure. I feel like they're gonna lose just because they're fighting on 2 fronts, like trying to win the fair game with the big creatures versus trying to mill me out. It just seems like that wasn't worth the card. I don't know. Second Goif, sure, you got it. Like, we're at 16, and they're a turn away from dying. I think at this point, I just need to focus on finding a land drop, so hit him for 12. See how big we make the Goifs here. Alright, we made them 4/5s. What do we mill? Dismember, Inquisition. So it looks like a kind of standard. They have Hedron. What a confused deck this looks like. Alright, let's play an Uro, gain some life, and draw a card. Hopefully find an extra land. Hopefully a fetch land. No, just escape shift. Okay, well, it's not ideal, but it's fine. Next turn a fetch land kills them because we'll have 12 mills off the fetches, then 24 fetches, or 24 mills off the escape shift. We are taking a hit here. It's a good chunk hit. Land, please. I think I need to play this and hope to hit a land, or else I might be dead to these phantasms. No. Christ. Oh, we're playing so many lands. Alright, so if they have any removal, then we're dead. But as it stands, we can... Oh no, we are still just dead to a phantasm. Okay. Because we went to 5. There was the fetch land right there. Okay. I think I'm going to bring in these Ether Gusts. No. Maybe? The only real green spells we saw were Goifs. So maybe not. Might bring in these Echoing Trees just as kind of soft removal. And then maybe a couple of Dream Renders just because they seem fairly good. And cut the combo kill. This end's bad. And it's good. Keep. And we'll just toss back an island. So go turn 1 crab, turn 2 crab land. I guess I'll play the Hedron Crab first. That might be wrong. Ruin Crab on the face of it seems like a better card, but I think Ruin Crab might actually just be worse because... Fatal Push? Yeah, okay, that's fine. I think Ruin Crab might be worse just because it doesn't have the option of letting us get Uro. I'm just going to fetch now while they're tapped out so they can't kill my Ruin Crab in response. Vantress Gargoyle. Spicy opponent. And Thieves Guild Enforcer. Is this just a limited deck? How do you find room for all these cards? What's this now? Bob? No, it can't be a Bob, right? Vantress Gargoyle? Sure. So it can't, what? Can't attack unless I have 7 or more cards in my graveyard, and it can't block unless they have 4. So it can block, but it can't attack right now. Play Cancrix. And then mill him for 5. Uro helps immensely. I can shut this thing off from being able to attack by casting Uro, which is nice. Not right now in particular, but in principle. So we've seen Hedron Crab out of them, but I haven't seen Ruin Crab. And Ruin Crab kind of seems like the reason to be playing mill right now. So I don't know what they're thinking. Play Goif, sure. Iceberg Cancrix blocks Goif very well. Also blocks Vantress Gargoyle very well, honestly. Fatal Push here, yeah, sure, that's fine. Not much to be done about that. Oh, 4 more cards in hand, okay. Okay, perfect. That was a really good draw, because now we can Phantasmal Image, copy the Cancrix. Cancrix will mill 2 from the Snow Permanent. Yeah, so I like to mill 2, and I'll play Forest. That makes them mill 4. And then I can flash in Iceberg Cancrix when they go to attacks. Hopefully pick off a Goif, and it'll mill them for another 4, because Iceberg Cancrix is a snow creature. Oh, and they're milling? Ooh. Brave. Brave opponent. Far braver than I am, that's for sure. Okay, you got it. Even knowing that I have Uro in my deck. Oh, yeah. They used 2 Fatal Pushes already. I gotta assume they don't have another one. Okay, they're gonna mill me 6, that's fine. Yep. Do I have an Uro yet? No, no Uro yet. It's kind of nice being on this side of things because it makes the mirror a lot less scary when you're the one who could potentially mill it into an Uro and they can't. I mean, I guess they could. I haven't confirmed there is no Uro in their deck, but we've seen a lot of cards out of them so far, so it seems unlikely. Uro? Nope. Never lucky. Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, that shuts off Uro, but still, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Perfect. Oh. So, Ice Fang mills them 4, draws me a card, and it's going to pick off this Goyf, which is exactly what you like to see. There's Fatal Push number 3 and 4. Do I want to... I feel like I don't want to block the Goyf, actually. I feel like I probably just want to block the Gargoyle now that it's attacking. Alright, we're on the slow plan now. I'm going to hold on to the fetch land for now, just because if I find a Hedron Crab or a Ruin Crab, it's going to be a lot better in my hand than it will be on the battlefield. And Mysterian Force isn't snow, right? So it doesn't. I don't get extra mill out of it from the Cancrixes. Cancry. Thought Scour. Sure. Opponent's at 19 cards. I'm at 37. Grafdigger's Cage is not doing much because I wasn't lucky enough. Oh, I'd like to see that. But not lucky enough to mill an Uro anyway, so I guess Grafdigger's Cage didn't matter. Yeah, take 5. I guess. What do they have that I'm not seeing? Excuse me, what just happened? Do they have Cling to Dust or something that I didn't notice? Oh, they activated Luris, sure. Well, I mean, 4 cards a turn is not the worst, but I would like something more to happen. So now they're going to play Luris, and they get to play probably a Thieves Guild Enforcer or a Hedron Crab or something, Banter's Gargoyle. So I'm going to have to start blocking. I might have to start blocking this turn, actually, which is kind of rough. Sure. It seemed like a strange play, considering they now can't play anything off Luris, and they don't have another land drop. Alright, I'm going to play it fast and loose and not block. If I find a Ruin Crab or a Hedron Crab, I think I win. Am I wrong about that? I think no, I might be wrong about that. Alright, so they have another Hedron Crab, I guess. Jace's Phantasm. They're not playing it, fair enough. Bold move. See if it pays off for them. Alright, so Uro comes in. Doesn't do anything for us in the graveyard, but gains us 3 life up to 7. And then we draw a card. Ooh, hello. Play Phantasmal Image. Play... Ooh, wait, actually. I'm going to copy Luris. And then Luris lets me play a Hedron Crab. Right? Oh no, I can't. I'm an idiot. Grafdigger's Cage means I can't cast spells on my graveyard. So I guess I should have just copied a Hedron Crab. But it's what it is. At least I can block with it and gain a little life, I guess, but it's a bit rough. Explains why they didn't want to cast their Phantasm last turn. Alright, well this is not doing much, so I'm just gonna fog them for a turn. Oh, I guess I could have blocked Luris. Dumb. Man, I'm playing bad today. Sure, they get land. That's fine. I'm not gonna crack this fetch because if I draw a crab, that's more valuable on the field. Ice Bank Waddle, sure. That's also fine. Millie for 4. Draw a card. It's an Uro. And then we'll grab an Uro. See if we can find something good. Coiling Oracle, that's pretty good. So let's fetch. Grab a. Oh, I guess can't grab a snow-covered forest, so I'll grab a breeding pool, I guess. And then play the Coiling Oracle. Might have been better to just grab a snow-covered and play Coiling Oracle next turn. Who knows? I guess it worked all out in the end, so no harm, no foul. Okay. So barring something crazy, I don't think they can kill us. All we have to do is find a land and they're dead. Or an Echoing Truth, honestly, if we If we hit Echoing Truth, okay, perfect. If we hit Echoing Truth, we could have bounced the Grafdigger's Cage and done something with Uro maybe. So yeah, there was the Echoing Truth. Was there a land underneath? There was. So they were dead next turn regardless. Well, that was a little closer than I would have liked. Alright, so remembering that they have Lurrus, I will be bringing in Tormod's Crypts. What do I bring out? I don't really want to cut anything. Maybe I'll just bring in like a couple of Tormod's Crypts and then cut... Nah, Dreamrender still seems good. Maybe we'll cut a Image and we'll cut a Ghost Quarter? Seems fine, I guess. Actually, I probably just want to cut all the Ghost Quarters. It's too late. But I probably should have cut both the Ghost Quarters because I don't want to give them... I don't really ever want to use it on them because they have their own Hedron Crab, so giving them extra land drops is not ideal. Alright, so let's keep this. This is good. We got turn 1 Ruin Crab, turn 2 Image on Ruin Crab, turn 3 Ashiok. And Ashiok's going to be probably a beast against the Lurrus deck. Oh yeah, that's what we'd like to see. What's this? Another Phantasm? Sure. You're gonna have to do it the hard way, man. I'm not milling myself with I'm not filling my own graveyard with fetch lands this game. That said, if we draw a fetch land, I will play it because that's 12 mills. Can't miss out on that. No, never mind. They probably have Fatal Push here. Dismember. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Play Hedron Crab. Stick to plan. Play an up Uro. And the next turn we'll have maybe Ashiok isn't the best here just because it's going to get poked by these Phantasms for a while. So maybe we just Image on the Hedron Crab and go to town on the Image. Or on the land. If they put Lurrus in their hand here, I'll probably... Okay. No, this is better. So let's play Phantasmal Image. And then we'll copy the Hedron Crab. Misty Rainforest. Mill them for a bunch. And then crack this. And then mill them for a bunch more. Alright. Wait, did I shock in the reading pool? That was my bad. I didn't mean to do that. You got opponent. What's this now? Lurrus? Okay. So at this point I might probably consider playing the Ashiok into the Phantasms just to make sure that the Lurrus doesn't get any value. And they can't kill the Ashiok this turn unless they mill me a bunch. And now the Lurrus is basically just a 3-2, which is good for me. But I do need to do something about these Phantasmal Images at some point. Although they are pretty close to dead. Play Lurrus, hopefully. That's all they're doing. Looks like it. Yeah, okay. And Goyf got shrunk to a 2-3. So I can actually go ahead and not block here. And I won't die next turn unless they are able to pump up the images. Yeah, oh, fair enough. Guess they jebaited me. Although that didn't really change the equation at all. Alright, so what are we doing here? So let's Cancrix. Play a land. And mill them for a bunch. And then play our Uro here. And gain a bit of life so that we have a bit more of a buffer. And then they need to be able to pump up these Phantasmal Images this turn. They have one card in hand. Hopefully they can't do it. But if they can, so be it. Grafdigger's Cage, good. That's probably a good sign. Block here, here. And if they can mill me at all, then they win anyway, so I'm not going to bother blocking the Goyf. Yeah, that's what I figured. And then we have a guaranteed land drop here with the Uro. Nothing else happens. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's 3 guaranteed land drop, or 2 guaranteed land drops, so I think they're dead. Because this mills them 6, and then we'll hit our own island with the Ghost Quarter, and that kills them dead. Yeah. You can't outmill 16 Crab, come on. Come on now. Looks good to me. Basically any hand with a turn 1 Crab and a turn 2 play is probably keepable. at least as far as my thinking goes. Oh god, don't bolt my crab. Don't be through the breach again. Just don't do it, opponent. Oh wow, that's the dream. So if this doesn't die, then we can go turn 2 Ruin Crab, fetch. It's gonna die. Yeah, that's a bolt. Yep. Opponent's down to 4 cards though. I'm just gonna play the. Okay, so this is Blitz. So actually, it's probably a good thing that the bolt went at the crab and not at our face, because I feel like we might have a hard time beating Blitz just outright. I feel like this is a very slow draw from them. Could have got a breeding pool there. Just grabbed a snow covered forest so that I would guarantee that I was able to get Quaddle to have Death Touch here. Going to be very good against the Storming Entity in particular. And I'm going to play a Phantasmal Image, copy my Ruin Crab, and get him for 6. It's going to be a bit awkward with Lava Darts probably, but gotta do what you gotta do. Perfect, no Lava Darts yet. And if we just untap with do we win if we just untap? Maybe. Close at least. There's Ompt. There's Stormwing Entity probably. Almost don't even need to play the Iceberg Cancrix just because of how slow they've been so far. There's Stormwing, it's fine. What a messed up card this is. Alright, so let's play the Cancrix. Put the Forest, mill them for 8. And then the Scape Shift definitely kills them next turn if we untap with it. So, do we mill any? Okay, there's a Lava Dart. So they can kill my Phantasmal Image. They might not see it though. Sometimes people just aren't necessarily used to playing against Phantasmal Image. So, and I'm just gonna hold back with this Iceberg Cancrix. We'll flash it in mid-combat to block, and then hopefully they waste their resources dealing with that. Alright, there's the Bedlam Reveler. What are they discarding? What was in their hand? Another Bedlam Reveler and a Storming Entity? Yeah, seems like a pretty weak draw from them. Alright, don't see it, opponent. I would appreciate that. How much is Escape Shift for? If we 4 lands, they're each worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mils. So 32. If we have 5, then that's 40. If we lose a crab, that's 25. So okay. So even if they kill the Phantasmal Image, if we draw a 5th land, the Escape Shift will kill them. And we have 2 shots at the land, so. Also, we're going to get mill 2 off the Iceberg Cancrix. Okay, so they wasted their Lava Dart on the Quaddle, which is nice, because that's probably better for me in the long run, because that way I can guarantee that they're just dead with Escape Shift. Makes sense, right? Like, why would they play around Escape Shift? Because who in their right mind is going to play Escape Shift in a mill deck? But do we get him? This is just good, clean family fun. Yeah. Alright, so they're playing Blue-Red Blitz. I feel like I'm going to want some Ether Gust. And Ashiok seems not good enough. Surgical Extraction is like a solid maybe, but probably not worth the card. Echoing Truth might save me, but I think I'm just gonna take 2 Ether Gusts and just cut a couple Escape Shifts. I know Escape Shift was awesome last game, but I think we were far enough ahead that we probably would have won without it anyway. It was just more for show than for anything, but it sure did put on a show. Hedron Crab check. Turn 2 play check. Done deal. Alright. Okay, so they're playing them 1 drop. If they had just left the mana open, I probably would have passed without playing the Ruin Crab. Because I would rather be able to just guarantee that I get some mill off of it before they, or at least make them kill it on their turn. But since they tapped out, we'll call it good enough. And if they have a bolt, they have a bolt, and that's just how it goes. It's possible I wanted some number of Profane Mementos or something like that in this deck just to gain a little bit of life. Don't have a bolt, please. They can't have a bolt if they're thinking this long about it, right? They could just Lava Dart it twice, I guess. Give it 2 -1/-1 counters. You love to see it. Okay, well there's a 0% chance I'm blocking. Perfect. Well, that worked out pretty well. Light up the stage is whatever. It is what it is. Spell Pierce and Monster Exo Spear. So the Spell Pierce ain't doing anything. Okay, I played a Wooded Foothills. And I will fetch. And I milled a Lava Dart. I'm going to flash in this Iceberg Cancrix on their block step. On their attack step. I'm not going to block with it because it doesn't have Death Touch. But my opponent might not know that. Actually, maybe I just don't do it in that case because they might want to. Because if they Lava Dart it before blocks, that's actually pretty bad for me. Because it means they get extra damage. That's a lot of pumps. They draw 3 Manamorphos. Bruh. Okay. Don't be a bolt. Okay. Alright, so this time I think I actually will flash a Nequaddle now. Because if they try and ping it, that's actually fine for me because then I can safely block the Monster Exo Spear that isn't pumped up yet. It just lands, eh? Yikes. Okay, well they let me go to blocks, they saw through it. That's a lot of damage. Alright, Iceberg Cancrix. That is a better blocker than Ruin Crab. Play the Misty Rainforest, I suppose. I got 37 cards. We need a way to get extra lands on the battlefield this game, I think. But we'll see how it goes. I think we're dead, though. And there's another Manamorphos. Good. Love to see it. God, I hate this card. Burst Lightning? Yikes. That can't be good. I feel like that means I might be dead. Yeah, I am dead because they can Lava Dart the Iceberg Cancrix, and then I have 4 attackers with 4 power. So if they see that line, then I'm dead. Okay. Not dead till they Lava Dart me. Does that Spell Pierce do anything against my deck? Like, all I have is Scape Shift. And I boarded 2 out. And everything else is like creature, I think. So. Good board, opponent. Yeah, okay. They saw the line. Okay, couldn't beat that one. So hopefully they have a slower draw and we don't draw quite as many lands. Maybe I shouldn't have kept a 5-lander. That was probably bad, but I'm going to bring in the Echoing Truce just as a little bit of soft removal. Take out the Ghost Quarters, I think. It would have been really good there to bounce the... Like, I would have been able to bounce 2 other creatures mid-combat, so... You know. Okay, I would like to play, yes, please. This is pretty rough. It's so slow. But it has good blockers, it has Uros to help gain life, and it has an Echoing Truth or soft removal, so maybe it's fine. Another one. This is nice too, because they can't just like end step bolt it. I mean, they can if they want, I suppose, but I wouldn't recommend it personally. So, if we draw a land, we'll lead off with the Uro. If not, probably main phase the Iceberg Cancrix and try and find a land. Okay, well I don't mind Manamorphos as much when it's being cast when there's no creatures. Yeah, Storming Energy doesn't bother me as much. Okay, so let's go land, mill him a bit. No point in playing the Coatl because it's not going to be... it's not going to have Death Touch because I only have the 2 snow permanents. Might have been better to get a Snow Cover Forest, but I don't think it'll end up being a big deal. Gain a little bit of life. Or it'll help cushion the blow. Okay, and so now we have Hedron Crab on top of our Cancrix to help us mill. Iceberg Cancrix will find more lands. Echoing Truce to help deal with the Stormwing entities if they get out of hand. Bolt. Targeting me. That's fine. Seems like an aggressive bolt, honestly. Given that I was at 22. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So these Echoing Trees are going to be nuts. Okay, so... Play Hedron Crab. Play Island. And I'm just going to main phase these Echoing Truce so that I don't get burned. By like I know they have at least 2 Spell Pierces in their deck, so... Just help me play around them a bit. And that's just stem to bleeding, at least for a little while. Sure, that's fine. Worst things have happened. Okay, let's kick things off with the Iceberg Cancrix, I think, because that's guaranteed to... It's guaranteed to mill with Cancrix, whereas Uro is not, and also Echoing Truth is guaranteed to be able to, like, I can guarantee I'll be able to cast Echoing Truth this turn. They do have Lava Darts in the bin, but that's fine. We need to find another green source, then we'll be set, so we can just start actually playing 6/6 Uros. Sprite Dragon's fine. I can just Ether Gust set if I need to. Lava Dart's fine. Burst Lightning target me. Deal. So I know that their last card in hand is Storming Entity, so I think before they potentially find access to a Spell Pierce, I'm going to Ether Gust the Sprite Dragon. And they get to choose whether or not they want to reveal it to light up the stage or not. Did they put it on top? Put it on the bottom. Okay, so they didn't find a Spell Pierce. But they did find a Monastery Swiftspear, which is also pretty good. How many? They have one Lava Dart left in the bin. Okay, so that means I can block with the Cancrix safely. So I'm going to take 6, which is kind of annoying, but I'd rather be able to get full value off the Echoing Truth when they play the second Stormwing. I hope I didn't miss a Lava Dart, but I think there was only 2 and they spent 1. Yeah, okay. What am I doing? I could have played Uro this turn. So if I find a green source, I still can. And it sucks. Okay. So they have no spells except for the Lava Dart in the bin. They have a Fiery Islet. They have a Storming Entity. I have a Echoing Truth, which they can't counter with just Spell Pierce this turn. So we are safe from that at least. And then next turn we can start flashing back Uros for full value. Okay, there's their land. So presumably they could, you know, go crack Fiery Islet, sack the mountain, Lava Dart me, play a Storming Entity. Assume that's what they're doing here. Damn, I'm smart. And then Echoing Truth is gonna come save the day. They don't have any. They have one more Lava Dart, so I can't block with the Cancrix. But it's fine. I'll just Echoing Truth and take 2. If I block with the Cancrix, I can flash back a Lava Dart, and then maybe that's worth it, honestly, because I'm about to play Uro. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. If they want to sacrifice their mountain and basically be stuck with no way to cast the Stormwing Entities in their hand, and then I'm gonna play Uro and go up to 11. I'm fine with that. Start playing a fair game. Okay, they didn't want it. Perfect. Whew. So that turn went about as well as it possibly could have for me. So I'm going to hold on to this fetch land for now. I would like to, if possible, be able to have it in hand if I like draw a Hedron Crab off the, like that, exactly. So now I've drawn a Hedron Crab. I'm gonna decline to put a land into play. I'm just gonna play the Hedron Crab, and now I get an extra 3 mills. All right, you'll love to see it. And that's what I'm talking about. Like this plan B just seems insane because like even if like I can just safely block with this Uro all day, and even if they do manage to kill it, who cares? I just cast it again, right? Like literally next turn, if everything goes horribly wrong, I could just play like pick up a Boro and then play it again, mill myself with the Hedron Crab, and play Uro again. Sure. They're up 4 lands, 4 cards in hand. 2 of them are Stormwing Entities. They can't deal all that much damage to me, I don't think. Yeah, just Lava Dart me. Sure. You got it. And then, did they find a light up the stage? No, just a Stormwing Entity. And then second Stormwing Entity, I assume. Sure, that's fine. Go to combat, attack with the Uro. To 12. Oh, I should have. I'm an idiot. I should have held on to the Ruin Crab, or held on to the land for exactly the same reason as last turn. Alright, grab Ruin Crab. So I'm gonna grab just a snow-covered island. So Iceberg Cancrix is gonna mill me, so I can just recast this second Uro in my graveyard. Hedron Crab and Ruin Crab are gonna mill my opponent, and I'm gonna actually return a Boro just to guarantee that I get a second landfall trigger. Might not end up being necessary, but better safe than sorry, because it's not really doing. I don't really need that much mana on the battlefield, so might as well just play it safe. Yeah, we're going up to 14 now. I don't really see our opponent being able to kill us next turn, and they're pretty close to dead regardless. Yeah, okay. Alright. So it turns out if our opponent's not playing Emrakul, we got this. This hand's perfect. Oh god, and we're on the play? That's filthy. Okay, so let's play Hedron Crab. Play a Borrow. I'll save the fetch land for next turn after we cast this Phantasmal Image. I'll play in Spirits. Alright, so they're not going to have enough mana to what's it called? Spell Queller me. So I should be able to guarantee that the Phantasmal Image comes down safely. Oh, Batterskull, so they also have, so they drew that for turn, obviously, because otherwise they would have played on turn 1. Alright, so that's Phantasmal Image here. Hedron Crab, play Wooded Foothills, and then we're milling them 18 this turn. Get a Breeding Pool. Just play it tapped because I don't have any more 1-drops. Alright, that's a pretty good turn, turn 3. They're down to what, 20-something cards? Yeah, 26 cards in deck. Pass turn. And then next turn, they might be dead. They're pretty close to it anyway, because we play Cancrix, goes quarter, that's 20 mils, and then if we hit something off Coiling Oracle, that's even more. So yeah, if we hit well off of Coiling Oracle, they are dead next turn, just flat out. That's a reasonable backup plan. I'd also rather do that. So let's mill them 18, sorry, 9 just for now. Tap this for green, sack this on my island, yes. Second island, mill them for 11. Play Coiling Oracle, and if we hit a land, they're dead. Land? No, I don't know. Guess you can't win them all. But we do have guaranteed lethal this turn unless something horrendous happens to us, because we can just pick up the Abara and play it again. This is exactly why the one Abara's in the deck. Like, they need to have exactly a Wrath. Sure. Well, good thing we have a Abara. You gotta love it when your opponent concedes in response to an Oboro activation. Ether Gust is probably not worth much. I guess it can counter a Collecting Company. Are any of these cards worth anything? Maybe Echoing Truth? Yeah, let's play into Echoing Truth just in case I have like a Leyline of Sanctity. And I guess we'll stick to the same plan as boarding out the combo kill. This hand seems pretty bad. This hand seems a lot better. I'm going to throw back the Snow-Covered Forest and just keep all the fetches I can. Ooh, Iceberg Cancrix. Okay, so next turn we can fetch out a forest, play Phantasmal Image, and then go to town on turn 3. Sure, they drew Vial for the turn again. Always love to see it when your opponent draws a Vial for a turn on turn 2. Alright, so play Wooded Foothills, mill for 3, crack it. Play a forest, mill for 3, play Phantasmal Image, clone the crab, pass turn. God, I love this deck so much. That's fine. Alright, so I guess we're going to be constricted on the number of mills we're going to get this for the rest of a little while. So we're only going to get 3 instead of the full 4, and we're not going to be able to play crab. But I think it's more important to get the mills in than it is to get a Cancrix on the field. And I guess we'll just play this before they can manage to get a second Unsettled Mariner in. Alright. They're already pretty low despite their Unsettled Mariner efforts. Sure, that's fine. Take 3, I'll mill you for 4 again. Oh, they have another Unsettled Mariner? Okay, that's fine. Would have been annoying if they had another one, just because then it would have cost 2 every turn. So, would have been down to milling them twice a turn. Sort of Fire and Ice, don't really care about that. Just stick to the plan. This does seem pretty effective, but I think milling them 12 a turn is still probably going to be fast enough. Could be wrong. Sure, so taking 8 this turn. It's a good chunk. They're drawing a card. I guess they're going to shock one of the Hedron Crabs more so than shock me. Still though, pretty upsetting. Okay, so now what's the plan? Let's grab the Uro, go up a little bit of life, and I think I can still survive long enough to make this work. Just. Oh, I accidentally clicked no on that, didn't I? That might be the killer. I think I needed that extra mill. But I think the Sword of Fire and Ice might be a little bit too much to overcome, so it might not have mattered regardless. Selfless Spirit. Pretty sure that makes me dead, eh? Because I can't block this, can't block this. That's 8, and then Sword just shocks me, so yeah, I'm just dead. Just dead on board. Alright, it's possible that I need some ensnaring bridges in this deck. Just didn't think of it at the time. Wait, why do I have... Okay, there shouldn't be anything else in here. There should be 2 Echoing Truths. Glad I didn't draw that. There's not much in a sideboard that I want for a Spirits matchup. No thank you. Better. Kind of tempted to keep the Escape Shift, honestly. Could come in handy, but I think I'd rather just keep the 3 lands and play the fair game for now. But if things are going really south, Escape Shift is a nice way out. So, I might regret that decision. Okay, so they found a vial on turn 1 this time. Good for them. Oh, perfect. So Hedron Crab, and we'll mill them 12. Well, they don't have a chance to do anything about it. It's got a tap breeding pool. No, don't give me another Unsettled Mariner, please. Okay, I can deal with that. That means basically nothing to me. Alright, so let's see if we can spike an extra land off a row. Oh, nice. Batterskull's gone. Oh, Sword of Fire and Ice is gone too. Oh, perfect. So we're not scared of the Stoneforge Mystic this game, which is nice. Land. Oh, and a fetch land to boot. Get a second breeding pool. Get him another 12. Take that. Take that, opponent. Nice creatures. Imagine having to go into combat to win. That's a yikes, my dude. Okay, you have 2 power attacking. You win. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll grab a basic. Give me another mill trigger. Nice. Another vial. Love to see it. Opponent's down to 18 cards in deck. The Hedron Crab, that's what that is. Get a Coiling Oracle going. Hopefully find a land. Yep, that's... Oh, and it's a fetch land. And then I think we still have a land drop because we didn't play that land. We got a Coiling Oracle, so if Iceberg finds a land, they're just dead. That's not a land, but oh well. They're still probably just dead. I assume they have a Selfless Spirit? No, they can't have a Selfless Spirit. I'll see the Spell Queller, I guess. Draw Skull Captain. Doesn't give them hexproof, right? No. Okay. And you're dead. GG's, opponent. Man, this deck's sweet. Alright. So we're 3-1. Only lost to the Emrakul deck. Let's see if we can keep up the trend. Hit 4-1. Oh, I'm on the play too. That's a bad hand. Mulligan. That's a very good hand. This deck seems to mulligan pretty well, and I'm a big fan of that. What do I want to get rid of? Probably the Quaddle, I guess. And then Hedron Crab turn 1, Image turn 2, Cancrix turn 3. Oh, don't Fatal Push me. Yeah, that's not good, but it's better. So you take the Cancrix or you take the Phantasmal Image, which was the correct choice. Good job, opponent. Cancrix out, and we're playing against Jund, like actual Jund. So I feel like they're probably slow enough that we can eke out a win here, and we might want to bring in like Ashiok for the board. Oof, okay, deal. Let's Coiling Oracle, see what we find. It's fine. Mill number 2, and then play an island. Mill number 2. Hopefully find like an Uro or something like that to get us really going soon. But for now we're doing okay. Staying alive. We've dealt more damage to our opponent than our opponent has to us. That's a thing. Dark Confidant. You got it, bud. Draw all those cards. Ooh, that's what you like to see. So now every land is worth 4. Well, every snow land. I'm just gonna play that in case of a Liliana. Ideally, I would like to, prefer to keep it in hand for like a 1-mana crab, but the fact that if I draw a land next turn, then I'll have 2 lands stuck in hand, and they might play a Liliana, and then I'll regret not playing the land. Tips over the scale in favor of playing it. I don't necessarily think I'm gonna crack it until I have to, but it is it's a 5/6. Jeez. Yeah, Ashok's definitely gonna need to come in. They might just kill themselves or Bob too. You never know. Might get lucky. Ooh, that's Bloodbraid Elf. That's not good. Sure. Just go eat my creatures. Give me bad blocks. Reasonable. So the question is, do I want to crack these fetches to like thin out my deck a bit? The answer is probably no. There's more crabs in my deck than there are Uros, for example. So I'd rather play it to a crab than to an Uro. So I think I'll leave them uncracked for now. Okay. So we have 6 potential land drops. If we do find a crab, then each land drop is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 21 cards. So not quite good enough. At some point, we're gonna have to make a move here. Here comes a Bloodbraid, I assume. Oh, Liliana, that's even worse. No. So before this resolves, I'm going to start milling my opponent just to get the value off the crabs while I can. Some consideration to milling my opponent, or sorry, to ghost quartering my opponent, but I think I'd just rather have the land trigger. Okay, so 18 cards, but I think their clock's going to be too fast for us to pull it through. I think we had a few too many land draws in a row there. It's going to take 9. I don't think it changes the clock regardless, so sure. Alright, what do we find? I think it has to be Scape Shift, and I don't even think Scape Shift does it. So, yeah, that definitely doesn't do it. Okay. Oh, there's Scape Shift. Scape Shift would have done it if we had 2 crabs out still, but what can I do? Alright, Ashiok's coming in, probably all 3 of them. As is Ether Gust, I think. We saw it terminate. There's definitely Bolts, although those aren't very good. There's Scoozes. There's Tarmogoyfs, so these will come in handy at some point. There's Bloodbraid Elves, I guess, but that feels kind of bad. Escape Shift can go, and Ghost Quarter can go, and Phantasmal Image can go, Coiling Oracle can go. I don't want to cut any Ice Fangs because they're just too good at blocking. Might be better to cut a Cancrix than a Phantasmal Image. Phantasmal Image can be Hedron Crab and Ruin Crab, which are the best crabs we have. Cancrix is kind of eh. It's mostly there for the meme. Well, yes, I would like to play. I will keep this and probably not be happy about it. This lets me go turn 1 Hedron Crab, turn 2 Cancrix, and all my additional lands are pretty good. Uro is probably going to be a pretty big help here. Kind of considering milling myself the first couple of times just because that'll let me get Uro out faster. Oh, never mind, there goes that plan. Alright, so Cancrix, come back. I will probably mill myself with the first Cancrix trigger because I think the 2 cards in my graveyard are going to be more impactful than the 2 cards in theirs. Never mind, there goes that plan too. That was the wrong button. We have a very sneaky Ether Gust up here. I don't want to use it, but I can. Liliana, of course. Yeah, we're probably gonna get out resourced on this one. Yeah, so let's get the Uro trigger done before we figure out whether we're gonna put Breeding Pool untapped, because I would have considered it if I drew a land there, because that way I could keep Ether Gust up. But I don't want to do it and then play Uro and miss it on the trigger. So each player discards a card. Say hello to Uro. What's this, Bloodbraid? Yeah. Okay. Pillage? Yeah, it'll happen. Alright, I don't think we can win this one, but it was a good try. I think we need to find a land and then play, like, hard play an Uro and force them to minus with Liliana. Okay, that's a good start. So I'm going to add a green. I'm going to sack this to destroy my forest, grab an island, play Uro. And that's all we got, so we better hope it's good enough. Can't put a land into play. Feels bad the way we had to do that, but that's how it is. That's fine. So Lily's gone. They play a second Lily, of course, I imagine. Nope, it's not a Bloodbraid. Oh my lord, come on, dude. What's it like to just be the luckiest person alive? Okay, well, Ruin Crab, fetch, grab a forest. Oh Christ, was that my last fetchable green source? Was that my last green source, period? So that means Uro's no longer in the equation. Because I literally can't produce double green for the rest of the game. So that's bad. That's a bad sign. But I mean, that's what happens when you get double pillaged, right? I mean, that's probably the worst play I could have done there. Just let them cast their Bloodbraid Elf again. But I don't think I can win regardless, so I'm kind of just throwing at this point. Well, I can block. And I mean, if that's where we're at, that's where we're at. But I don't know what good that does for us for in the long term. I assume they put the Bloodbraid Elf on top of their deck. There's a Bloodbraid Elf coming next turn, and we just get to deal with whatever comes. What was that? K command to shock me and return Goy? Fair enough. What's happening here? How many pillage you got? Alright, that's it. I've seen enough. I'm willing to call that one quits. Okay, so that was pretty good, honestly. We 3-1'd, lost to Jund, and lost to like literal nightmare matchup, main board Emrakul's, which that doesn't count. So I think when I revise the deck, maybe change up the sideboard a bit, and then toss it back. Probably get some ensnaring bridges, because that seems important in the grindier matchups, and then also thinking I might want some Visions from Beyond in the deck just to refuel while we're getting low as a nice top deck in the late game. So, alright, well, thanks for joining for this league, and just remember, any of your Magic single needs, head on over to wizardtower.com, and they're currently running a special where if you trade in your old cards, they will give you an extra 30% store credit on top of the trade-in value that you can put towards new cards, new decks, packs, whatever you want. And I'll see you next time when we mill out more people with 16 whole crabs.